About 5 years ago, my ex and I had a pretty nasty breakup. We had dated for over a year, but I soon started to realize how mentally unstable she was. She would lie about the littlest things. She would verbally abuse me if she did not get her way. She would cry all night if I wasn't giving her constant attention. And to make things even stranger, she was the one who broke up with me. And I guess she took it badly when I had finally accepted it and did not come crawling back to her. After about a month of being broken up with her, I had already moved on to a healthier, more stable relationship. A few months after being broken up, my ex showed up to my apartment one day when I was alone. She claimed she needed to get the rest of her stuff, so I let her in. She was picking up a few of her clothes in my room when she suddenly handed me a note. I waved it off and said no, just get your clothes and get out of here. My ex had this crazed look in her eyes, and I just wanted her gone, so I took the note and opened it. It said that her and I were meant to be together forever, and that if we can't be together here on Earth, then we can be together in the afterlife. That's when I saw her pull out a gun from her bag. My ex started to cry while pointing the gun directly at my head. She said how this world is tainted and how it would be better to leave this world for the next. I honestly thought I was going to die, and I tried to calmly explain that she isn't a killer and that this does not have to happen. She walked right up to me, put the gun to my forehead, and pulled the trigger. It just clicked. It was empty. No bullets. She pulled the magazine out and showed me that it was empty. She said she could never hurt my precious soul. She kissed me deeply on the lips, put the unloaded gun in her bag, and then left my apartment. I was stunned. I don't know if she was trying to make a point or just scare the life out of me, but it worked. I never told anyone about this encounter, not my current girlfriend or even the police. About a year after this happened, I saw on social media that she was engaged. God bless that man. I never saw my ex again. In 2021, I met a guy who worked at this thrift store near where I worked. For this story, I'll call him John. I was browsing the thrift store on my lunch break when John approached me. He was tall, athletic build, and tan, my exact type. He asked me for my phone number. I did not hesitate to give it to him, and we went on a date the next day. Things were going good. John was a gentleman, kind, and listened well. But not even a week into meeting him, he started asking for money. At first it was only like $20 here and there for lunch and gas, but soon he started asking for hundreds of dollars. He claimed he had major medical bills, and the money that he made from the thrift store wasn't enough to cover his expenses. I had to decline him the money. After all, we had still only met a week ago. But by week 2, he started to ask if he could move in with me. I had to decline that too. I repeatedly told him that we just met, and that's way too fast for me. When we would be in public together, he would say crazy things like how easy it would be to get away with murder, and how easily the human skin can tear. Just weird stuff normal people don't say. And when he would come over to my place, my dog would always bark at him. I mean non-stop. She never barks at anyone, so this was a major concern to me. By the end of the 3rd week, I broke it off with John. I broke up with him over the phone because I did not know what to expect if I did it in person. This is where he goes completely psycho. He started showing up at my work, demanding that I take him back. It got to the point where my manager had to ban him from the premises. He didn't stop there. He would show up at the grocery store, the gas station, and even the gym to try and beg me to be his girlfriend again. He was showing up everywhere that I was. I was terrified to go outside alone. I made sure to always be with a friend or a coworker. I would get texts from him saying that I'm his sunshine, his only sunshine, and that I'm supposed to be the one to bear his children. I just ignored those texts. Then, one night, I was in my living room, filling out my taxes on my couch, when my dog started to bark like crazy. She's barking at my window that faces the street. I get up slowly, terrified. I pull back the curtain and see John trying to open the window and get in. I scream and run to the bathroom and lock it. My dog continues to bark. I called my next door neighbor, who was ex-military. When he got there, he said he saw John running off. I filed for a restraining order against him, and thankfully, John never showed up at my house again. I moved away in the beginning of 2022, and now live with my husband. We are happily married with our first child on the way. But it's scary how John went from completely normal to absolute psycho in a 3-week period. I was 24 years old when I filed for divorce. My ex-husband was an abusive, alcoholic, chronic cheater. I did not have the best self-image at the time, and thought he was actually good for me. Now that I've grown, I still cannot believe that I married him. The divorce was nasty, and I thank God that we did not have any children. I wasn't trying to get his money or anything like that. I simply wanted to be done with the marriage so I could move on with my life. My ex-husband, however, thought he owned me. He would send emails saying he's the best that I'll ever have and that I'll never find another man like him. My responses would be sarcastic, saying that good, I never want a man like him again. He did not like that. One night, around 1 a.m, I woke up to a strange sound outside my house. It sounded like footsteps, like someone was walking around my house. I put on my robe and looked out my window. I didn't see anything, but I was nervous that it could be my ex-husband looking to harm me or something. I went to my kitchen. I had 911 entered into my phone, ready to dial in case someone was trying to break in. I turned on all the outside lights, trying to scare away whoever was outside. I was scanning my backyard when something splashed onto my window. It looked like someone had thrown water at it. Then I saw someone darting around the side of my house. That's when I smelled the gasoline. I quickly dialed the police, and they got there in record time. They caught my ex-husband throwing gasoline around the premises of my house with a box of matches in his pocket. He was arrested on the spot and sent to jail for attempted arson. But as they put him in the back of the police car, he screamed when he got out that he was going to kill me. After that, I moved to a new town, closer to the beach, far away from him, because I knew that one day he would get out and would come looking for me. I since then own 3 guns, have a pit bull, and take weekly classes for self-defense. I don't live in fear because that would mean he wins. I'm just prepared in case I ever run into him again, which I pray I don't.